screens. We're going to be doing some interesting demonstrations. We're going to be doing some looking for very dark screen paint mixes, or basically any form of dark screen paint, seeing how it would stack up against our signatures. Now, the signature technology, basically, well, not signature technology, but the signatures are our own version of our own screen paints we customize for ourselves. These have a little bit more applications that we apply to surfaces, due to the fact, like I said, we're doing the job. It's a pre-coated surface, and this is for wallpaper screens, maybe in the future, motorized projection screens, fixed frame screens, and so forth. Right now, we have it on a blackout cloth surface, which is the acoustic blackout cloth surface, which soon we'll have that at 235.1 ratio, and at the biggest size, not at 235, but the biggest size in 69. 135. All right, so I am going to be doing a few demonstrations, color patterns, white levels, and so forth. And this will be against the UV mix, which is a darker screen paint mix. We'll be doing some other demonstrations also. I'm also scouring the internet not as we speak, but I'm scouring the internet looking for other companies that may have darker screen paints that we can also do demonstrations against. All right, so I'll be back. Grab something from downstairs. Also, too, not only are we going to be testing some certified screens against the ultra, or that light gray screen paint, we're going to be testing. We already did certified screens. We're also going to be testing against other screen paints too on that one. All right, so this is a container for all we have left of the product. We've done an unboxing on this way back. We did had the 8s. Just to show you that we actually do have the product here. So you can see it right there. That is this product right there. Now, we can't make any more of this, like I said before, because we've tried to make orders in the past, and those orders have failed due to the fact that they were canceled. So we were able to get one of them in. I don't know what it is, tell you exactly what it is, because we didn't have the person who ordered it. When it got there, had it leaked a little bit out. So she had did her job to basically make sure that I told her to set the bag out for a little bit and let that paint dry up, so whatever was leaking would dry up, have a seal around it, and then just put it into another bag, ship it to us. So that will be here shortly. All right, so we've done this demonstration against high performance certified screens already. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to do this against this screen paint. Now, as you can see in the demonstration, I am not going to use this with the windows open, as I said before, because our screens are designed to take in much more light. They're ambient light rejection. I'm pretty sure this advertised as ambient light rejection. I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, we're showing a Starfield demonstration, just displaying how dark the 17s produce. 17s are actually 3 times darker than 12s. And you can see right there the difference between a Starfield demonstration on our black technology versus the UV mix, which is actually a dark gray. It's interesting because usually when it comes to these dark gray screens, at that particular time, before black screens came on the scene, this was considered to be a black screen. It's not considered to be a black screen anymore now, due to the fact that we do have black screens. All right, so let's bring up the, let's bring up the colors here. White screen saver. And we'll be doing this on much more paints. I've already run out and placed orders on a company called Nox. I think it's NOX, and a couple other companies. I may pick up Goose Screen too while I'm at it. All right, so got a few more we're going to be testing through. All right, so let's begin. We'll show the white levels. White levels on 17, white levels on the UV mix. All right, let's show the color red. Red screen. As you can see, our black technology pulls up a deeper detail red, where the red is here on the screen. It's faded. It's just, it is what it is. I know some people are going to be bothered by this, but hey, look, if people can do demonstrations on our technology, it's only fair that we do demonstrations on theirs. If you're bothered by this, then you're not a fair person, and I don't want to do business with you. All right? Gotta be fair on this. All right. And I can see there's no special lighting in the environment. No screen is suffering more. No screen is suffering has less. Everybody has the same amount of lighting as we do in our demonstrations on all our videos. Blue screen. There's the blue screen. Our technology clearly showing a deeper, richer blue. Green screen. It's the same test that the other one will go through when it gets here. What did I eat today? All right. Let's go over to, and keep in mind, as I said before, this technology is 3 shades darker than a 12. So that means that these screens are designed to produce very high white levels. That means they can maintain their color when around screens that are much lighter than they are. But they can pull contrast levels that these screens cannot do. Star field demonstration. We'll go again. Star field demonstration. Isn't it remarkable that 17s pull that high of a white level? And there you go. As I said before, with our technology, we can actually blend into screens that are lighter than our technology easily. But when we come to contrast levels, they can't match us. See? We can blend. Sometimes when I do these demonstrations, I'll have somebody come in and throw, but he matched your screen. No. He didn't match your screen. If he did, he could match the contrast levels. If he matched the screen. It doesn't work that way. You can't go, well, pick one side, another side. No. If you matched your technology, he'd be matching our contrast levels right now. You can't match the contrast levels because the screen is black. Not only is it black, it's actually 3 shades blacker than a 12. It's actually darker than 12s. This is one of the darkest screens we've ever designed. But that screen being it's darker than 12, keep in mind, think about this. I'm going to twist your brain a little bit here. If he did a demonstration on a 12, and he claimed that the 12 came out so dark on his product, then how is it that we have a screen that's darker than 12 that's producing a white level high enough to blend into one of his screens? People don't think about that kind of stuff, but we do. We do. All right, let's go over to, let's see. And mind you, like I said, from the demonstrations he's displayed of the black technology, or supposed to be a black technology, it's supposed to be, keep in mind, so dark you can't see the screen. So with the 17 being 3 shades darker than 12, that means you shouldn't be seeing anything at all, if that was the theory. Correct? All right then. TCL demonstration. So how is it possible? My screen, 17, 3 shades darker than 12, is producing an image that bright. Interesting. It's not 3 shades under. It's actually 3 shades over the 12. I mean, the 8, yeah, the 12. So how's it possible? Yeah, because the product he had wasn't the 12. That's why. If it did do that, then basically this screen would be so dark you wouldn't be able to see anything at all. And we are expecting for the screen to pull a slightly higher level, a white level, because the screen is lighter than our technology. That's why it has a higher white level in there, where you consider the fact that we put in a contrast level, it comes up gray because it can't put contrast because the white level is too high. So let me get this straight. The 17 is going to produce a high enough white level to give you a beautiful image that you can see, but also pull a contrast level that you can't see from the other screen. Let's go to now it'll pull up the background, but anything that comes up in black will automatically come up in gray on the screen. There you go. I think that's the part a lot of you miss when you watch demonstrations, is the fact you're so zoned in on the picture, you don't realize exactly what's going on around the picture until you get it home, and then you see it. Then you'll notice it. That the background can't pull a contrast level. You'll pull the brightness, yeah, but you can't pull that contrast. This is what we notice when we test against other high performance screens. We see that pop up. That's why we show those white levels first. Those white levels come up too bright. That's a huge, huge sign that you are not going to do too well. LG Beta Fish. Let's bring this back. It's got hooked around my bed sheet real quick. I don't know why it wouldn't stay there. Now, in any LG demonstration, backgrounds must always remain black. Keep in mind, we have screen paints that are different colors, and they can pull a black background because they have code in them to do that. Let's go again. The color red. See? It's supposed to be dark red. That's not a dark red. There you go. You see it now? There you go. Now you see it. There you go. The color blue. Now you see it, don't you? See, when you're doing demonstrations in the dark, you won't see that. You won't be able to pick it up. But if you do it in a fully lit environment, like we do in well-lit environments, you'll be able to see the color fade. You'll be able to see which one actually pulls a higher and deeper blue. Let's see if we can go to fading some colors back and forth. It's faded. It is faded. This is why you're instructed to calibrate your projector. White snowstorm. That's how high the white levels are on a 17. Look at that. See how the screen fades when it hits the contrast? We can blend right into the screen. And you should pull a slightly higher white level, but our white level is not going to come up where it's going to be a black spot in the middle of the screen. Shocking, isn't it? Yeah. See, that's how we knew it was black paint. We do this test already. I have to do all those tests. Anytime I develop a black technology, I have to do the demonstration next to black paint. It has to be done. Black paint, chalk paint, you name it, we test it. We've done all that stuff already. That's why I can come here and do this live and show you this demonstration without a problem. Because keep in mind, in his demonstrations, our screen would come up black. We would have this black spot in the middle of the screen, and that's supposed to represent black technology. And this is your UV mix right here. And somebody, I was doing some demonstration. Somebody came and said, "Hey, do a Starfield demonstration." I said, "You really don't want to do that. That's a 17 in there. You don't want to do it against that screen." "Oh no, do it against the 17." I'm like, "Okay." My buddy Marvin was on there watching. He was in the room. He was laughing his head off. He told me I was laughing my head off. He said, "He had no idea what he's getting himself into." I put that screen against it. What happened? That screen did not pull up a black level, not next to a 17. And like I said, with a 17, 3 shades darker than 12s can pull white level literally that high. That's how I know that the 12 pulled the white level, and that's how I know that in that product he had against that screen was black paint. That's why. But there's your screen right there, and your screen's lighter than my screen. Screen's a dark gray, my screen's a jet black. And my screen can pull white level high enough to blend yours. Now, like I said, I can easily come in here and do these demonstrations because I have confidence in my product. You know what I mean? I know where my technology comes from. I tell you, I'm blessed to have the Lord teach me and show me how to make amazing technology. But this particular individual, if you're going to be doing these demonstrations, you have to be fair. I'm always fair. I'll come on here and show you my screen's white levels right next to your screen. Where if you do demonstrations against our product, you will stay far away from anything that has anything to do with a contrast level. Even when you make the fake stuff, you stay away from those contrast levels, because even everyday black paint will beat your screen in a contrast demonstration easily. So I already know from the door that you will stay clear away from that. I test my black screens on other people's great screen paint products, other just great screen paint alone by itself, high, light gray, certified projection screens like Seymour AV 1.3, the Matinee Silver, DMP Supernova, Gray Cinema 5D, goes to the Gray Cinema 3D, Gray Cinema. These are all light screens that I put against my technology. So the fact that I can throw all these gray screens against my screens, which I did with the 12, 12 had what? 12 certified screens laying against it, and still performing with no problem. So the fact that I can do that with confidence like that, and you have to pick and choose these colorful demonstrations so your screen can come out somewhat good, and you will only use sample screen surfaces, as I said before, that will either match the screen and won't give the screen too much of a challenge. They'll stay near there. They'll keep away from the darker screens, because the darker screens will pull that contrast level and the screen will flaw. So they'll stay away from that. And then they'll contribute to the poorly lit environments and all the high power projectors and stuff they're using to try to pretty much try to make their screen look good. When actually, all in all, at the end of the day, if you take that home and you put it in your environment, it's not going to look that good at all. They're not being upfront with you. So, as I told you before, I can come in here and I can show you the darkest screen that we have on our website against this screen and show you a white level, where he won't even show you a Starfield demonstration. If we ship him our product right now, we send him a quarter of our product right now, I guarantee he will not do a Starfield demonstration or any form of contrast demonstration at all, period. And I'll ship you a quart. I got your friend's address. By the way, we got your address too. The investigator came back, so we got that one too. So we'll be in touch. But also too, but let you know is I'll ship you a quart. I got his address. I'll ship you a quart, and you could do a side-by-side demonstration. Paint my screen on half of that screen and do a star fill demonstration, any form of contrast demonstration, and back it up because I can do it over here. Now, I'm trying to back up your theory by saying our screens will pull up a black, dirty image that you can't see the screen. And that's what you tried to paint the picture to be, so to speak. And 17s are darker than 12s. So how is it possible that a screen that's darker than a 12 is pulling up such a high white level? If I can do this, you can do the demonstration against that Cinemax or one of those that you have a habit throwing the fake 12. We're going to call it the fake 12 because it's not a real 12. The fake 12s against and doing those demonstrations. As a matter of fact, why don't you just take that fake 12 and do a star fill demonstration on that? And let's see how that pairs up. Let's see what else we got here. Any more snow demonstrations? Yep. This is how lighter your screen is than mine. I think I might shut my projector off when I do this. That's how much lighter your screen is than mine. Gray screen. We'll start off with the dark. That's a dark gray. And we'll start. I've done these tests already, man. Stuff you're asking me, been there and done it already. I've done all this stuff already. I do these tests over and over and over again. We test our products out. We run these tests constantly all the time. Anything you could think of, we run these tests. That's why no one can back up our test demonstrations. I haven't seen anybody do any of those demonstrations or anything we do. We've done all this stuff already. Stuff you're asking us, the stuff we have done, you go back to my Utah's archives and you can see demonstrations we've done. We submerged screens underwater, we froze them, broke them in ice, cooked them, everything you could possibly name. Have screens, we have demonstrations of screens sitting in the snow, the rain, everything. 180-inch screens sitting outside displayed at 6 o'clock in the evening. There's demonstrations of screens basically producing an ultra short throw, long throw, low lumens, high lumens against massive amount of certified projection screens. Every certified screen we bring in here, it gets thrown against the screen. What happens? We even got documents to back up our technology from companies that got to a point where they wanted to do business, and on the other hand, they wanted to sue us. To stay away from them. So we can back it up. And as I said before, this is a 17. It's 3 shades darker than a 12. Yeah. So you have to consider the fact, if the screen is producing a white level high enough to blend into the gray screen, it's a white level. Keep in mind, white is actually lighter than gray. What do you think is going to happen if I display a gray level? Of course the screen's going to be to maintain a gray level. Did it on a white, and white is actually brighter than, I'm not going to explain that one. Anyway, not to put you down or anything anyway whatsoever. It's just, come on. It's common sense. Red screen. It's the same thing on trying to figure out how in the world do we have a blue screen downstairs, or a green screen downstairs, or a mustard screen downstairs, or a burgundy red screen downstairs that can produce white, blue, green, orange, red, brown, purple, black, and the surface is a different color. Do you know what happens if you hit a screen? Oh, matter of fact, I told you, do that experiment for yourself. Go buy some paint from Home Depot or Lowe's. Don't paint your screen with it. paint a piece of cardboard red or blue or green, any of the colors we're using, and try to watch a movie and see what happens. It's not going to go well. Only we have color coding technology. We don't even do that whole 1.0 and 2.0 game. We don't bother with that stuff. We engineer and design our own game. This is why people sit there and go, they say, well, you can't do that. Well, I got a screen outside on a 1,000 lumen projector that's producing a star field at 13 feet back, and that screen's blue. And your screen can't do it. And it has a 8.0 something gain, and you can't pull that image. So, you know. Thank you so much. The only problem is the fact that, look, the technology out there, it's not a problem. The fact that everybody is doing the, what they call it, the protocol. They're doing the basic protocol. The basic protocol is dark, poorly lit environment, high-powered projector, and you calibrate your projector. That's what it is. You have to do that in order to have that perfect optimizing your viewing application. Like if you go to one of these big companies, say, okay, I have a 720p. Again, they're gonna laugh you out of the door. They're gonna like, no, you can't use that. You're gonna have to use a 1080p, or you're gonna have to use a 4K projector. So you automatically know either way. If you go with a 1080p, they're gonna probably suggest you a projector 1080p that's gonna cost you maybe about $1,800-$1,900, and coming to the 4K projector, maybe $2,000 to $3,000 if you want to use them as screens. And then you're talking about an additional $4,000 to $5,000 for a screen, or maybe $1,500. Well, if you do $1,500, you're only going to walk off with maybe like, you're going to walk off with maybe like a mid-level. You want to top a big dog screen, the big dog, the epic screens. Then you're talking about the DMP Supernova, Infinity, and Blade. That's $4,000 right there, $4,000 to $5,000. That's a 100-inch, mind you, only. And that's not ultra short throw compatible at all, period, because you're going to pay extra for that. It's kind of like when you go buy a car, and the car has all those extra options that you pay for. There you go. And if you want the screen innovation, well, we all know what that's going to cost you, right? Okay. You want these are the top tier screens. You want what's another one they got? Oh, the Dark Star 9 by Elite Screens. That's one of their top Elite Screens. That's $3,000 right there. So $3,000, including anything you add to your projector, is going to basically push you somewhere in the realm of, depending on what company you go with, maybe $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, and you still haven't bought your stereo system yet. You still haven't bought your surround sound system yet. You haven't bought your movie chairs. If you want to get a popcorn maker, that you haven't got that there either at all. Period. So you still got to add that in there. So maybe you're talking about maybe 15, maybe $20,000, and that's if you skim it. If you go as cheap as you can go, if you skim it, then you can pay a lot more than that. You can spend $4,000 for a projector alone, because you need it, because the screen is not going to be able to make up the image on what you should be getting. If those screens were doing what they're supposed to do it, they could do all those shows on 720p projectors. They can come to like a $180 projector. Like, here you go, $180 projector, get the beautiful picture, beautiful image, beautiful color. You don't have to worry about the window light coming in. No, they go and they block all the window lights. They put in this ambient light controlled environment. They use the high power projector, and they display the screens. Pretty much that's it. And then I see people who make screen paint doing the exact same thing. High power projector, poorly lit environment, same thing. And they will stay away from certain content. Certain content that may display a lot of contrast, they will stay clear from it, because they know this is going to cause some problems with basically the performance. That's why you'll never see a star field demonstration or any form of contrast demonstrations done in a fully lit environment. They'll do it in the dark because they have a better chance of producing an image. But they're not going to do it in a fully lit environment, not like we do. That's why we have that. I have that thing called the Ultimate Challenge, 1100 lumen challenge. And that screen sitting out there, taking in all that light, showing off that OLED demonstration. It's never been matched. That challenge was for everybody. It wasn't just for this individual. It was for everybody. We called everybody's name on that video. It was never matched. And I think the only screen that Elite makes for outside is the Yardmaster. And that screen is white, and I think one may be silver. I think that one's white and silver. That's going to go against that black technology this year outside. That is not going to be a pretty ride for them. It's not. I'm pretty sure I'll probably get a letter in the mail from them sooner or later telling me to stay away from this stuff. I'm pretty sure it'll come. If they do, and I do get that. You know what I mean? I mean, bottom line is you really can't do anything. At the end of the day, I'm just doing a side by side. That's it. I'm not slandering your product at all, but I'll get that letter in the mail, and I'll take your letter and I'll put it in a frame and I'll stick it to the rest of them. Yep. We can easily blend gray screens. See where the red levels come up? See where the blue levels come up? See, that's why I show you the solid colors first. So you can see it for yourself what you're not getting. This is on an ultra short throw 720p projector. No 4K needed. You don't have to have 4K. You don't have to have all that crazy stuff. You don't have to have all that. They feed you that nonsense. You have to understand what you're getting at the end of the day. When you think about it, when you get down to it, people, at the end of the day, all my main projectors in my house except for one. The only one I have in the projector is not my, I'm using 720p, it's the Christie 505 in the back. But all my projectors in the house are 720p. That should tell you something right there. That I don't have to rely on a high-powered, expensive projector in order to get a beautiful image, especially in a fully lit environment. My main projectors are all outdated. They're old projectors, outdated since 2012. And the images I can pull off are incredible. Where everybody else is using high-end, expensive 4K projectors or 1080p projectors, and they're sitting in the dark. And they can't even show you half the demonstrations we've requested. So you have to have a lot of confidence in your product to know that you can run a basic $180 720p projector. Matter of fact, I just bought another one too for the kitchen. 180 bucks. This one was cheaper. This one I only paid $90 for, and I think it was like something like $15 for shipping. It was really cheap, so I bought that one. So that's my price tag when I go buy a projector. The only one I had to spend some serious money on was the ViewSonic downstairs because of the 235.1 option. I really didn't have a choice with that one. I had to spend that money because that projector has a 235.1 on it. All the other projectors I have don't have them on it. The ViewSonic is literally the only one in this house that has a 235.1 option. And I needed it in ultra short throw because the way the theater room is downstairs, I don't have a lot of room. So when I had an ultra short throw in there, I literally have to have it right in front of the movie chairs. And if you lift your chair up, you'll bump the projector. That's really uncomfortable. So to have it where it's at now, it's absolutely perfect. So that's why that one cost me $1,200. But as I said before, I had $4,000 in my wallet to spend for a projector. They had a laser version of it. They had a 1080p version of it. You know what I went with? I went with a 720p WXGH, all I needed. And I had to spend that money. Took that extra money and bought those glasses over here. These right here. So I did the extra money. I bought where did I figure out? I bought those glasses, VR glasses over there. Did the unboxing on the projector live. Only settings I changed on the projector was I changed my keystoning and I changed the aspect ratio. That was it. It's still in factory settings right now downstairs. Let me see something. Black contrast test. It's going to bring up something completely different. She's downstairs thinking. She's right there at the bottom. That's her thinking. Like, what the frick did he just ask for? Contrast demonstrations. Told you she's going to butcher the daylights out of it. All right, let's go into bring all this out. Go way down to the bottom because she got the information incorrect. Contrast demonstration. That's what I'm asking for. There you go. There's when Sony makes a very dark contrast demonstration. Very hard to pull up. Now, we're going to be doing other screen paints besides this one. You know, I've done other sample sheets. I got a whole bunch of sample sheets back there. We still got Vivistorm sample sheets coming through, which is going to be pretty cool. And I got, like I said, 2 other companies that make darker screen paints. We will be testing their products. Also, too, like I said, we have a lot of tests to do outside. We're going to be working on that outdoor black screen paint. And excuse me, we're going to be painting that on a few, actually one inflatable projection screen. So the test with that screen is it's going to be blown up and deflated, blown up and deflated, blown up, deflated. It's crumbled up, and I got to do all the crap that people will usually do to a screen. Usually, you know, me, I'm good there, I'm rough on myself. I'm going to ball up, toss in the bag, leave it down there, unravel it, see exactly how much punishment we can add to it. And then we're going to take some of it, and we're going to paint it on the same surface that the screen's made out of. We're going to run that through the washer a couple of times. Going to wash her downstairs, run it through the dryer, and just beat the living crap out of it pretty much. See what happens. And then we'll take a sample sheet of that, and we'll pin it up to the gate outside. We get some pretty good summer storms out here, so that'll be good to watch too. And we'll submerge one underwater to see how long it takes for it to crack. That's why I said we test. What I mean by you have to test everything, you have to test everything, even down to the containers. Containers have to be tested. Like I said, I have videos on YouTube of me taking plastic containers and dropping them off 11-foot balcony, no tape, nothing, with liquid in them, and then coming from the camera, and I got to squeeze on it to see if there's any liquid coming out of that container. Even I'll take a box and I'll pack it up like I'm shipping it out to a customer. I know my neighbors got to think I'm crazy. Now imagine you're sitting there in your window and you watch a man come outside his house and he's kicking a United States Postal Service box down his driveway. I do stuff like that because I want to see exactly how much punishment those containers are going to take on the inside if I'm kicking this box around all over the place. This is stuff I have to know. So I know that's not going to happen to your box, but I need to know exactly if one of those containers are going to crack open in the process. Recording the ship out demonstration. Ship out, that's very important. When I started recording our ship out, some people say, oh, you're bragging. No, it's not about bragging. It ensures our customers that their packages are being taken care of. And in case if I get into a dispute with a customer and he says, well, you know, I don't get any information, you don't put nothing in your account, you don't basically update your customers. Here you go. Link. Here's all my links of all my demonstrations where I show people doing the ship outs. That helps me. It saves my neck a few times. When people want to try to explain to them, yeah, we do this. So, yep. Now that you see the testing, I gotta do another one. As a matter of fact, we got the summer kit coming out. The summer kit's gonna be fun because that's gonna come with that grommet surface, the surface with the holes in it, grommet. So it's gonna come with those, and it's gonna come. We're gonna have them in a 100-inch, 120-inch, because not everybody's gonna have the room to put a 180-inch or a 300-inch screen in their backyard. So we're gonna make them all the way down to the 100 all the way up to the biggest one. It's going to be a 300-inch screen. I think we got a 300 screen, or 350 around that size. And it'll go by, we'll have the big boy kits. It'll come something like with like 4 gallons or something like that. These people are going to be painting massive size screens in their backyard. Some will come with the glow-in-the-dark LED lights, which will be waterproof. Get those for free. We'll add stuff in like that. Maybe a few of them might come with the big boy kits, might come with a popcorn maker. So we'll make them outside screens right there. That's outside screens we're going to do. And then we'll put in a tutorial video, or you can go to the website. There'll be a video there showing you how to go and put a link. Give you the link. Go to the website. You can go in there. You can see exactly how to paint the screen. I think that's a lot easier to do. So we got a few things planned for the summer. And then I got some the acoustic screens. Yeah. I'm going to be doing one of them outside on the deck. So the 135 is going to be removed now that I got 135 of that screen. That's going to be removed, and that's going to be replaced with the acoustic ultra short throw, and I'm going to have speakers behind the back of that screen. I'm going to show you how that screen's going to be designed. It's going to be quite interesting. You got to see it. Pretty cool. Of course, you know, gave me the idea, the Lord and Savior. Gave me the idea on how to build that screen. I'm actually going to post those blueprints up to show you how to do it. Oh man, we got ship out to do today. So no, we got no ship out. Ship out's going to be on Saturday, people. We're going to do packaging and processing today. Shipping's going to be on Saturday. It was easier for the driver, so your orders are still marked for the 6th. We always mark them days in advance, just in case if anything pops up. But they're still going to be on their way out, as always promised. And this gives anybody else a chance now, because their deadline usually is on Thursday. So now you have a deadline until Friday. But we only have 4 containers left. Also, too, we're going to be showing off a customer's 100-inch acoustic screen, which we have here. And we're also, too, going to be finishing off this screen today, because I have the acoustic surface coming in. I'm going to be coating and finishes my custom office screens I'm doing right now for myself. Which I got to go downstairs and I got to finish painting the frame black. How come there's no sound with this? Showing up an acoustic screen, there's no sound. See that right there? That screen is lighter than my screen, and yet my technology can blend it. So no, our technology is not the same. And he'll probably look at this and go, no, but it was matching. It ain't about match. We match your screen. Our screen is darker than your screen, 3 shades darker than 12, as I said before. It blended your screen, and then it turned. We can go to contrast levels, and your screen can't pick up contrast levels, so you can't say it's the same until you can pull that contrast level like that black screen. But until then, this technology on this black screen, the strong points of the screen, it's not its white levels. The strong points of the technology is the fact that it has an amazing contrast level. The white levels is just the extra perks on what the technology can do. See? So whatever that mess you had mixed up in that black sample sheet you got supposed to be our product, nah, because the 12 can blend your screen too and can produce a contrast level higher than your screen. That's not even anywhere near close. But soon we'll have the other one down here. I'm thinking it's by judging by what I saw of the paint that spilled out of this container. It looks like a Cinemax. It looks like it. It could be one of them. I think it looks like a Cinemax because, like I said, if he had figured out who the buyer was, the order would have been canceled. It would have been canceled already if he had word of who it was. And yeah, chances are it probably was. Anyway, we'll know when it gets here. We got to run through tests anyway through it. It's going to go through the same thing our screens have to go through anyway. At least this screen has a chance to breathe on this technology. It could be worse. Now, I already told you the door. I'm expecting for this one to pull a higher white level, but if it pulls a higher white level, its colors and stuff are going to fade like crazy on it. Mind you, you test these screens on certified screens as a Seymour 81.3, which is the highest screen I've seen when it comes to white levels. So let's go. White screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Your white level comes up too high. It's not going to be good. Okie dokie. Here we go. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Told you. White level's way too high. I mean, you won't pick up any of the color. Nothing. You're not going to pick up anything. And you see how white level is high enough to be able to blend into the other screen with no problem whatsoever? That's going to have a serious problem. It's not going to pick up anything at all. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
So it just shows you that any technology you throw at one of these screens, it's not going to match the screen. If your screen's too dark, it's not going to pick up. It's not going to pull contrast level, and the screen will blend into your screen and make it disappear. If your screen is too light, then pretty much it's just going to fade it and wash it out. Green screen. We haven't even opened up the windows yet. Green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Introducing Incognito. Tastes like meat, made from plants. What? Afraid you might like it?
You can only pick up white levels, that's it. You can't pick up anything else. That's why when you buy a projector, somebody came one time and said, oh, but contrast is not needed. It's not, if contrast is not needed, then OLED must be doing something wrong, because their technology is based off black levels. Then when you buy a projector and a projector goes, oh, but it's a 20,000 to 1 contrast level, not white level. That's what it says. I don't even know where you got that theory from to begin with at all, period. I fell asleep in the earlier today. I never want to do that crap again. Ooh, that was a bad experience. Wake up with a bad headache. White screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
These are the demonstrations you should have been doing. This is why your technology is lacking. That screen's black. It's 3 shades darker than that 12, and it's pulling up a deep enough red, bright enough red level. Keep in mind, if people understand that, oh, if I make the screen black, then no, it's more complicated than that. Because if you put too high of a white level, then you lose your contrast levels. They drop. If you put too high of a dark contrast, product in there, what's going to happen is then you don't use your white levels, which means the image is going to come up too dark. You're going to get dark reds, and they're not going to have a bright enough image to pop. See what I'm getting at here? So you have to have a perfect amount of whiteness to get the image to pop, but a perfect amount of contrast to get it to go deep and dark. Figured out that one out. That's pretty complicated, but it's not complicated to me because, like I said, at the end of the day, all my technology comes from God, so I don't have to go through any science books or none of that stuff. No, it's just boop in my head. That's it. That's how my Lord has blessed me. Ingredients is right there. The measurements, how much to put in, everything is right there. It isn't like mixing this, that together. When God gives me those blessings, they come to me in measurements, like a recipe and a cookbook on how much to add of this and how much to add of that to get that perfect balance. So some people think it is, oh, you're just mixing this and that. No. It's a combination of measurements to get the perfect balance to be to produce the perfect contrast and white levels similar to this almost at the same time. So like I said, if the red is if it's too much contrast, then the red comes up so dark and dirty, it comes out grimy looking. If it has too much white level, it comes up where the white levels basically fade the image. Well, we got to fade image here and fade image there. So if you go back and forth, you can spend years trying to balance it out. It takes a long time to balance it out just right. And I realized that when I was actually making it, when God gives me these ideas to do it, that without his blessing, without his knowledge, it would have taken me years to do it. Instead of developing technology within hours or in 20 minutes. But then again, your technology is supposed to be the same as mine, correct? It's not, because my ideas come from God. That's why. It's not the same. Color blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go, as you can see up close. There you go. Some people look at it and go, what, but it looks like it blended in. No, it didn't blend in. Didn't even come close. It's gray. It's producing gray because that's what it is. I'm not going to say anything about it. That'd be I don't want to slander this guy. But just say, if there was anything different about it, you would see it. I'm not going to say, hey, it's nothing real to it, because maybe it's real to him. But as you can see, for me, on our end, it's not on our level of technology. Black contrast demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yes, and they butchered it again. All right, let's do it again. Black contrast demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Here we go. My goodness.
The question isn't which came first, it's who gets to take home that adorable little Reese's egg.
As you can see, we're doing everything strictly by the book. 2 screens, my screen, projector, fully lit environment. I don't even got the windows open. I got the windows shut for him. So in any way, you can't say that your product was done wrong. Now you probably will start complaining that because it's not an ambient light controlled environment, that may be a problem. Or you might start talking about, well, one of the things he's going to preach about, and I'll tell you right now from the door, and I've heard him come into the room. I heard a few of them come to the room and start complaining, talking about, well, his product is not ambient light rejection. All right, so let me explain something to you. If your product's not ambient light rejection, our technology is ambient light rejection, then why the freak are you trying to go side by side with technology that you can't compete with, knowing that you don't have that option to do so? You understand what I'm saying here? It's kind of like saying that you got a system that's Dolby surround sound and one that's digital. Why in the world would you go against a system that's going to have perks in it that your system can't compete with? It's going to have better sound. It's going to be more crisp compared to Dolby surround sound. So that's why I said you need to stay in your lane where you belong, in your lane. Not in our lane. You don't belong here. In your lane. I'm pretty sure you have a price point of customers that you deal with in that category that you sell to that like your product. And that's where you need to stay at. You don't need to be over here. And the reason why is because the first complaint I got from a few of them that came in the room said, well, it's not fair because this product is not ambient light rejection. All right, it's not ambient light rejection, so what are you doing in our lane? What are you doing over here? If you're not ambient light rejection. That's like, you know what I mean? Like you go into a forum site, they're talking about projection screens. You're going to go over and want to talk about TVs. No, you don't belong over here. Go back over there and have your discussion with the TVs. So you can't use that. And the reason why you can't use that now, because when you went in and started doing demonstrations against the product and started saying, well, you know, you don't need ambient light rejection, our stuff is this, our stuff is that, blah, 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 blah. You just made yourself a candidate to go against the screen. If you did any demonstrations on that product outside, then you just made yourself a candidate to go outside with one of these screens. Now, I can't go outside with any of the high performance screens that I have here because in none of those demonstrations, I don't see any screens outside in any of the demonstrations that I watch. They have particular screens designed for outside use only. And those are the only ones I can use when I go outside. So you can't use that. The ambient light, when people do that and they say they want to do demonstrations showing that their technology is ambient light rejection, and then they would say it's not if they have to go against somebody else, or if they have to deal with a customer who's going to take that product and he's going to put it into an environment that's going to be way different than the environment that it's used to be in it, which is a dark environment. And he's going to put it in his environment, and that screen's going to fade and wash out. Colors are going to wash out. And the first thing he's going to do is going to call the person who's sold him the product. Going to say, hey, look, got a problem here. The screen's not pulling up. He's going to say, well, it's not ambient light rejection. I never said it was. Clearly said it was an ambient light rejection. There's this loophole right there. And you're just going to have to basically, in order to get your screen to react right, you're going to have to stick it in the same environment which he had it in, which means now you're going to have to change your environment to look like his. See? That's what you're going to have to do. I could imagine my downstairs lounge area is nice and bright, a lot of light comes in there. And I couldn't imagine me having to change that environment, get darker curtains, get rid of that ceiling lamp, because that ceiling lamp pushes in a lot of light, and put in some regular desk lamps or whatever, table end lamps or whatever, so I can keep them away from the screen, so I can control the environment and keep it a little bit lighter but darker in the environment for the screen, because I'm afraid it's going to wash out. It means I want to block all that beautiful light that's coming in there altogether in order to make it operate right, because it's not used to being in that kind of environment. And I can't argue with the fellow about it being ambient light rejection, because he said it never was. So if you're telling them it never was ambient light rejection, you're telling us it's not ambient light rejection, then you need to stay away from technology that is ambient light rejection, and you won't get thrown in these kind of these circles. So neither one of those are point of contrast. Let's go with the I'm gonna go out a few of these real quick. Let's see what we got going on here.
For bathroom odors that linger, try Febreze Small Spaces. Just press firmly and it continuously eliminates odors in the air and on soft surfaces for 45 days.
Keep in mind, anytime I display a nice bright image, and I will display bright images on here, I'm looking for my screen to go as dark as the screen he displayed in his video. It should be a black spot right in the middle of that screen. It should be so dark you can't see anything at all, because that's what the picture he painted about black screens. That when they display anything, they come up so dark you can't see it at all, or so dirty and dingy. I've seen that. Keep in mind, I'm not calling the man a scammer because his product doesn't work correctly with our technology. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work. He's not a scammer. Well, the other thing he did with the fake paint and all that, that's a whole other story on its own. So, but about this right here, what's going on right now, no. The personal mix, I can't say, because like I said, the personal mix did match the free paint he did give out online. I definitely can say that right there, something was wrong with that altogether. The UV mix, on the other hand, is in its own category world. He didn't do anything like that at all to begin with. I didn't see any other videos he was doing making a UV mix that matched a free mix that he was giving out. So this one right here is in his own world. Sorry about that. This one right here is in his own world. This one, on the other hand, we were able to match that to a product that he gave away for free, and he was charging for that one. So that one, I can't give him that credibility on that one, because yeah, he kind of did scam some people on that. He did do that. He charged people a product that basically was something that it wasn't, and we were able to match it to a free product that he removed the video on it that had 27,000 hits on it. So yeah, that tells you right there. But as for this one, can't say much. Now, like I said, they do work. They do. They produce an image and all that. They do work. The only thing is, when it comes to our technology being on our level, no, they're not. Just like I sat there and said with the high performance screens, they all work with no problem. They do. Just they're not on our level of technology. That's all. See the difference between how that's done, Crow? See how I can come on here and give an honest review, and that's what you're supposed to do. This is how you do it. You don't call people scammers or say their product is this. You don't mix it with this. You don't mix it with that. This is how you do a demonstration properly, correctly, and professionally. Professionally. Did I say professionally? I think I just did. Haha. Anyway, this is how you do it. As you can see, we have no special amount of light here or there for the environment. Everybody's in the same environment, and I was nice enough to close my windows so your screens wouldn't take on too much, because our screens are designed to take in a ton of light. I don't think yours are going to be able to handle the same thing. But anyway, this is how it's supposed to be done. And you're supposed to see color patterns, as I showed you color patterns. You're supposed to see white levels, as I showed you white levels. You're supposed to see contrast, the whole 9 yards. Not sticking to bright, beautiful colors and try to avoid contrast levels and try to keep it in poorly lit environments and other nonsense. No, you shouldn't be doing that. All right, let's finish this off. So you can see from the door. Same thing, but it's point of contrast level. No, that's not a contrast level. That is gray. That's what you're seeing. That is gray. That's black. All right. Well, enough to be that. I'm not going to even put you up to an open window. We'll wait till you're, because mind you, we have to open windows all the time. So you're not going to do that demonstration yet. When your product gets here, you want to go through the whole 9 yards of everything we have to go through when we test these screens out. Like I said, the brutal test. Which means your screen will be pulled back at 25 feet to 22 feet on a projector of 1,000 lumens. And you'll have to pull that star field from that distance. Keep in mind, we got screens out there that are not even the color of your screen, and they can do it. Now, let's get back to normal, because I'm used to doing things a certain way around here. For me, I had to set it from my way. That's the light that I'm used to having in my environment. We got a few other gray screen paints that I purchased also too, so he won't be the only one. There's a few more. He's just the first one, that's all. That's all. Ugh.
Never hide your Reese's eggs in a basket. I mean, come on. It's the first place they'll look.
So, as for the acoustic blackout cloth, these are signatures. Signatures is our own screen paint that we developed for our own form of high performance projection screens and all that other good stuff. So we do now have 135 inch of this technology. We had the 100 inch, 120 inch, we're gonna have 135, and soon a 235.1 blackout cloth acoustic. Yep, it's coming. Sorry about that, people. I fell asleep back here. The videos are so relaxing.
Hello, I'm 7-year-old Sydney McLaughlin.
$8K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
As I said before, these are pre-coated screens. There's no painting required. You'll get a chance to see me build this one today. lot of people ask about that, especially when you're doing ultra short throws. You don't know if that angle is going to pull up. There we go. I'm going to switch on my security monitors because I got something coming in. So make sure I watch out for that. Ready for school. Yeah, that'd be the last time I fall asleep in VR. I got me a headache out of this world. That was a bad idea. I'm just showing off, displaying all the bright levels on the screen. There's no point in showing contrast levels because no screen can do contrast. So as we usually we're doing it with the fully lit environment. J and K 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Philips 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Remind you, I could easily take those sample sheets that I have in that next room and I can put them against that screen and there's all this light coming in. I already know the outcome of it, so it's no point in doing it. Considered not to be an ambient light projection screen, he won't be to handle this. The screen will wash out.
Spring driving is here, so move up to the iconic style and bold performance.
My brother just fall asleep right there. Yeah, I did. I fell asleep. Sorry about that. I'm tired. I gotta be up early in the morning. I didn't get my sleep last night. And I still got tests to do and demonstrations to do. I got a lot of work to do. I get tired.
The Speed Hunters Showdown is back as Palm City plays host once again to the state's foremost racing exhibition. Each day, thousands of eager fans will be hoping to catch a glimpse of the very best high-performance cars in action. But when the sun goes down, you can quickly find yourself in a far more dangerous territory. Welcome to the world of street racing. An underground scene inhabited by daredevils and speed freaks intent on tearing up the rules and breaking the law. Rising to meet this challenge is Palm City's very own Lieutenant Frank Mercer, head of the newly formed high-speed task force.
Bugatti demonstration.
There's no place on
Getting that from YouTube.
That's incredible. If you're a police officer, how do you expect to catch something like that? You're not gonna catch anything like that. Not in a million years. You're not gonna catch it. That's incredible. I gotta start looking at more of these. Oh well, it's time for me to get up and get ready to get back to work. I have to get ready to finish this screen, and I got a customer's 100-inch screen to display today. So we're gonna display a customer's 100-inch screen, and let's see. And I gotta get ready to do the processing, recording for the ship out orders for today, and then I'm gonna come back in and we're going to do my office screen in here, which is going to be an acoustic screen. Get it all set up, LED lights. Wow, that's a big freaking bird. What is that? Red tail. It's a whole. I guess everybody got to eat today. All right. No, that's not even a red tail. It's something else. Oh, whatever. All right. So let's go check out real quick. Let me see. 8K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Nope, not 8K. 8K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, that man with some wearing body armor. He's being hit with an AK-47. That's freaking berserk. Time to pick something we haven't done yet.
Holy Beacon College in Delaware is shaking things up. Tuition shouldn't keep you from a quality college education, and we have a better idea.
We're getting more on that. Okay, cool. gotta clean this thing. Maintenance. There's fountains, they gotta be cleaned. If you don't maintenance some things, they stink, they give off an odor. So the whole thing's gotta be busted down today and cleaned up.
They've climbed every
So, just so you know, if you ever decide to get one of those little portable ponds or fountains in your home for decoration, they require maintenance, which means they can give off a scent that will stink. It smells like algae, like dirty algae. And that has nothing to do with the video, but off topic. And what happens is when that fountain drips down, especially when the water level goes low, because they do evaporate, because depending on how much heat you may have in your environment, it will splash water all along the side of your wall, and there'll be little white particles all over the wall, all over the table, everything. And that stuff will start to stink. So you get a little water, clean it down with some soap, wipe down that whole area, and you gotta go and you gotta take that whole thing apart, and you gotta clean it out. It requires maintenance. Some people get them, they plug them in, and they leave them running, they put a little water in it each time, they never maintenance, never clean them, and they wonder why they got this funny kind of algae smell in their house, and the first thing pop in their head, they think it's mold. It's not mold. It's coming from your fountain, and them things do stink. You gotta clean them. You gotta maintenance some bad boys. I had to go on YouTube and look up a video on how to maintenance that one, and I was planning to get a much bigger one than that and put it in the corner, but now I'm glad I found out the maintenance that goes into them. Now I'm just gonna stay with that one right there. So, just so you know, if you ever decide to purchase one, you're gonna have to go through that. That's all. Gotta maintenance some bad boys. So I'm just going to take all the pumping equipment out of it and soak that in another container to clean it, and then take the entire fountain and just clean it out and then get it back up there. Gotta flush that system. Woo! If you watch any of my YouTube videos, you will notice that in my videos, at the end of the videos, I will do some pretty strange stuff. It's just stuff that it's just a signature thing now for my videos. So, come with me. It's like a field trip for you guys. All right, so we're in the bathroom right now. And this is what I'm doing to clean out my fountain. I already scrubbed the inside of it really good. You gotta scrub all this crap. I'm gonna take this down real quick so you can see this real quick. Oh, crap, wrong side. Right, there we go. That's it. So I just scrubbed the whole inside of this out. All in here. And now all I gotta do now is just run some soap in there, plug it in, and just let it filter and clean out. And that'll get rid of that nasty smell. And then take another toothbrush and go all in here. And clean all in here. All that's got to be cleaned out. So once that's done, I'll let that run for a little bit. When that's done, I'll come back here and clean it up and put some fresh water in there and then start my fountain. I'm glad I didn't go buy the big one because I saw one that was huge. It was about 5 feet high. It was a pretty big one. I got this one for the time being. I think, you know, later on I'll go out and I'll get the one that's 5 feet. And I'll just put that over in the corner because I had a cascade of waterfall coming down. I'm so glad I didn't buy that thing. Because the maintenance behind that would have been far worse than that one. But, you know, I'm thinking it's a fountain. You just put water in it. And every once in a while, you just keep refilling it up when the water starts to evaporate. And that's it. Well, live and learn. I gotta wash. I gotta wash clothes today. I gotta actually wash my sheets today. The rest of the wash. All right, this video's over. I'm so sorry. I got you guys in here like, what's going on with Mr. Bird? Yeah, I'll do that every so once in a while. Camera, I'll do some stuff around, clean up my environment while the camera's running it. So, but like I said, at the end of the day, you know, gotta have confidence in your product because, like I said, I can do that without worrying about any videos popping on. That's going to basically, I don't know, like, you know, like I said, if you're using a screen, it's not used to being used with a contrast environment, a contrast demonstration, you got to sit there and you got to watch and make sure certain videos don't pop up that your screen's going to fade on. I don't have to worry about that. I can walk in and out of here and let anybody run anything play on here because the screen's not going to have any problems at all. This is not a rehearsed environment. This is my house. So, you know, this is what I watch and this is how my screens react. I can walk out of here, go downstairs, cook something in the kitchen. I can let you sit up here and watch TV. Not have to worry about anything that pops up here that's going to basically disrupt the picture quality in a fluid environment because they're designed to be used this way. Well, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. Next week, well, not next week, I'll let you know when we'll have the other screens available, the 135 and the 235.1 and the acoustic. The gamer paint will be launching soon. I just have to do some more testing on that over there. And what else are we going to be working on? Oh, yeah, we're going to be working on a rear black, a luminous black 80-inch projection screen next. And then I have the ultra short throw projector coming and some other cool stuff we'll be working on. All right, with that being said, got to go and God bless. And I've got a headache.